We've all seen the moment lenses for the iPhone. They are amazing. They're also really expensive. I may have found a budget option for the iPhone that hits the mark. Let's find out. This is the Aochy lens system. So what's in this box are 6 lenses that attach to the iPhone X or XS. It goes for $60, and right now if you go to their Indiegogo, I believe you can get this whole thing for $40. What does it look like? How does it work? And is it worth it? Is the quality there? These little guys are iPhone lenses, and if you don't know what an iPhone lens is, it's designed to give you more focal lengths on your iPhone. They're designed to really expand your cinematography and photography capabilities. So what comes with this system? Let's break it down. It starts with, we get this tin box, and this tin box is a pretty strong feeling tin. It's already starting to scratch on the edges. It does come with this little strap if you need that kind of thing. This tin is nice. It's just a way to contain the lenses. You snap it open like this. It's got a nice little snap to it. You can hear that. And that does feel pretty rigid. So you open it up and we have a total of 6 lenses. It's actually 3 sets of 2 lenses, and they have these little icons both in the case and on the lenses themselves. Now I found that the lenses, they don't seat perfectly inside here. They can pop out pretty easily. This box looks the same both ways. It can snap out and you could drop your lenses out the other way. I wouldn't jostle this thing around too much in case it opens up and all your lenses fly away. Each one of these that you put on your iPhone is gonna give you 2 different lenses. It utilizes both cameras to give you 2 different lenses. Now I say that there's 6, but there's actually 5, because on one of these sets, there's a doubled up, there's a repeat lens on one of these. So what you get is, this guy is a fisheye lens and a portrait lens. This one, which is the one that I definitely use the most, and I'll get into that just in a little bit. This guy here is a wide angle lens and also a portrait lens. This has the same portrait lens as the fisheye. So when it says 6 lenses, it's actually 5 lenses because you get a double up. This last one here is definitely a specialty. This is a 10 by and a 20 by macro. And these get close, I mean really close. Let's talk about their quality for a little bit. I know the gold standard is Moment. Those lenses are made of metal, they're big, they're strong, they're sturdy. They also cost $100 each. So to get the equivalent amount of lenses that I'm looking at here through the Moment system and their case, you're probably looking at about $500–600. It's definitely a cost consideration here. That being said, the shells of these are made of plastic. I can't tell, the actual lenses themselves feel like they're glass. It's honestly, truthfully, somewhat hard to tell, but it does feel, it feels like plastic. It doesn't feel like solid metal, and it doesn't feel like it's gonna break though. And that takes us to the next thing you get. Now you get this for the same $60. So in addition to this guy and all the lenses, you also get this case. I was all set to hate this case, and I put this on, and surprisingly, this is actually one of my favorite features. This is PU leather, so polyurethane leather, so it's vegan, it's not actual leather. The case itself is a really nice sort of rubbery edge. It's got a good grip to it. It's not too big. It's actually a smaller profile than the Moment case, which I have. It's got the buttons on top of the volume and a button on top of the power, and they all work great. I've had no problems. I've had this on my phone for about 2 weeks now, and it's been quite good. It's got this sort of stitched on backing that has not frayed at all, and it's got room for, for about 1 to maybe 2 cards if you want to jam them in there. I put my swipe card for work here, so I can just go to doors and open it with my phone. And then it has this other interesting feature that I haven't really seen before. Maybe it's out there. It's got this thing right here that snaps open, kind of like those bracelets that you snap on. It creates kind of one of those ring things for grip if you want to take a selfie. More importantly, it works as a stand for your phone. It actually works as a really nice stand if you just want to watch something. Like, the one thing that bothered me was that it was going to be kind of bumpy in the back, and I was going to drive me crazy. That may not be your thing. If you don't like a lot of rigid stuff on the back of your phone, then you probably won't like this case. It actually doesn't bother me at all. It gives me a little extra grip. As you can see, there's this plastic rim right here, and it's very simple. You take the lenses, there's this little button, you grip the lens like this, and you just snap it right in. It holds really strong, which leads me to one of my favorite technical things about this system is that the profile is small. It doesn't expand past the side of the phone. It's something that you could still stick in your pocket. Maybe you're not supposed to do that, but I don't really care. I just want to have it on my phone and ready to go. One negative about these lenses, and it's just a small thing, is that they snap on both ways. So you can snap it on like this, which is the intended way to do it, and it lines up with the cameras, but you can also accidentally snap them on upside down like this. They still fit, but the problem is the cameras don't line up. You'll know very quickly because when you go into your photo app, it'll be black. Let's talk about the quality of the photos and the video that you can get with this thing. My favorite lens is the wide angle lens. I'm gonna tell you guys straight up though, there's definitely some barrel distortion, and you can see it. It's quite present in all the photos, around the edges, around the sides. This is just a matter of personal taste. Some people love that stuff, some people hate that stuff. But out of the gate, this lens is not even gonna pretend that it's straightening your footage. This lens is gonna bend everything. It's gonna give you about, I didn't do any like scientific measurements, but I think it gives you about 30% more with the lens. So you see 30% more from where you are, and you can see that it definitely bends. What was great about it for me is that it's easy to keep on my camera. I had it and it gave me a really interesting viewpoint that I could photograph very quickly. In fact, one of my favorite photos of the day was this photo that I took of this person just sitting on some steps, and I was able to get the entire frame around the edge with this lens from where I was standing, and that was like really important to me for composition. I couldn't get that on the 28mm lens on my A7 III, and I couldn't get it on the DJI Osmo Mini, and I couldn't get it with the regular lens on my iPhone. The other thing I liked about the wide angle lens is I was able to get some really interesting angles that you normally wouldn't get. I could find really interesting low angles, like on Edward Scissorhands, for example, and get really kind of cool perspective-y things. You get some really unique angles with it. When I was outside in the rain, I totally got caught in a rainstorm. I actually smeared some water on the lens and took these great shots where light was smearing around everywhere, and it felt like really cool. I think it's a really fun lens. It's not the perfect lens by any means. And then if I wanted to, I could quickly switch to the portrait lens. And to me, the portrait lens is basically like a 25% zoom from the regular portrait lens. So it's just getting a little bit tighter. You're not gonna really get any of that bokeh, that soft, shallow depth of field stuff that you would get with a big DSLR or big mirrorless camera like my A7 III. But again, that's an iPhone compared to a $3,000 camera. It's kind of an unfair comparison. If you do want to get some of that shallow depth of field, go look at that Focus app, F-O-C-O-S, that I keep touting in all my other videos. Let's talk about the fisheye lens. I look at the fisheye lens as kind of more of a novelty lens. You're gonna get that really, really wide circular thing, and there seem to be a lot of light leaks in this. If you shoot video, it's going to crop in a little bit more, and if you shoot 4K video on your iPhone using, say, something like Filmic that bumps the quality up, you could conceivably blow it up for HD and get rid of all of the edges and have a very, very wide angle look. I could see using this for skate videos, maybe keeping your iPhone really low to the ground and moving around. And then the other lens with this is the portrait lens. And again, it's the same portrait lens that's on the wide angle. That takes me to the final set of lenses, which were the macro lenses. Now these guys are actually really great. Like, let's say you want to do some kind of a product, or you want to set up something on your table and do like a really close photo of something. These would work really well for that. If you went to, say, the Huntington Library or someplace with a lot of flowers, you might find yourself getting in really close and taking photos of these flowers. And I mean like really, really close. It's pretty crazy how close this stuff gets. I started out by comparing these lenses to the Moment lenses, and the truth is you can't really compare them because of the price. So the question is what you get for $60 worth it? And I think the answer is yes. The case alone is pretty great and would probably cost you 20 or 30 bucks if you bought it on its own. And the lenses are pretty good. I would say the word I would use is fun. The lenses are a lot of fun, especially that wide angle lens. If you're looking for something with a lot of character that you can toss into your bag and add some extra spice to your Instagramming or your video or your skate videos or your vlogs, then this very well might be something that you want. At the end of the day, it's your imagination that creates the amazing stuff that we want to see. And if you're like me, you're going to just snap on that wide angle lens, and you're going to keep it just like this and keep it in your pocket. All right, guys, that is it for this video. See you later.